And welcome to the Lindy Sports, Cox Sports Broadcasting Post-Game Report. I am the coach, Dick Cox. Well, today in the Colonial Life Center in front of a sellout crowd, the #1 ranked South Carolina Gamecocks won the Battle of the Carolinas over the North Carolina Tar Heels. These two teams played earlier in the year up in Chapel Hill, and the Gamecocks actually trailed by 11 in the game up there before coming from behind to win that game. But there was never any doubt today who was going to win this game. Dawn Staley came out with a good strategical move as she came out with full court pressure to start the ball game. This caught North Carolina off guard. They had several turnovers. It got the running game going for the South Carolina Gamecocks, and they jumped out to a quick lead. At the end of one quarter, they were up 28-8. The big story of the game today was the South Carolina bench. The South Carolina bench outscored the entire University of North Carolina team 51-41. And this was a special game for one Gamecock player, freshman Fullenwiley there, Leia Fullenwiley, that the first time they played this year, she got benched for not playing defense. And that was probably the low point so far this year of her freshman season. She told me Friday after the ball game with PC, she really was looking forward to this game today. And man, she showed it on the court today that she led the Gamecocks off the bench with 20 points. She was shooting today. She was actually from the three-point line 4 out of 7. She had 3 steals, and she was everywhere up and down the floor. Another freshman today had a huge game off the bench, and that was Tessa Johnson. Tessa Johnson today was 3 out of 5 from the three-point line, and she tallied 11 points off the bench though. And another player off the bench that had a good ball game was Chloe Kitts. She was 4 out of 5 shooting the ball, 4 out of 4 from the line. She had 12 points. In all, the Gamecocks had 5 players in double figures though. The Gamecocks had a huge lead at the half, that they were up at the half 56-19, and again were able to build on that in the second half, playing everybody on their bench. South Carolina today shot 32 out of 71 from the floor. They were 9 out of 20 from the three-point line, 15 out of 19 from the free throw line. Rebounding, South Carolina won the Battle of the Boards 54 to trying to see what the rebounding total, to 33 for North Carolina. But it was just a huge win. This is the final game, could have been the final game of Carmela Cardoso here. She has not made her decision whether she is going to go to the WNBA or if she's going to come back, though. She had tears in her eyes on the opening tap. But if it is her last game, she tallied another double-double today, scoring a grand total of 12 points and had 10 rebounds. Other players in double figures, that Ashlyn Watkins had 11 points, and another player that just missed double-double was Fullenwiley, that she had 20 points and 9 rebounds, but was a great team win for the #1 ranked and #1 seeded Gamecocks. I asked the players after the game if this was a message being sent today. And again, when South Carolina plays like this, there is not a team left in the tournament that can beat them. We all know what happened last year. They had one bad game all year, and that was in the national semifinals, and they were sent home. And that's something that they're well aware of and trying hard to guard against this year, of having all the good things that they do possibly go down the drain just because of one bad game. But the Gamecocks are tough from top to bottom. They can shoot it, they can rebound it, they've got depth, they've got probably 9, possibly 10 players that could score double figures in a ball game. That's something they did not have last year, though. And the important thing is the Gamecocks are having fun, that they are having a good time. I watched them today in pregame warm-ups. I watched them go through stretching, and they're laughing and enjoying each other. They're competing among themselves, and just a lot of fun going on out there. So South Carolina will now advance to the Sweet 16, and we'll find an opponent to be determined yet, though, but they'll move on to Albany for the next round. Reporting for Cox Sports Broadcasting and Lindy Sports, with a victorious day in Columbia, South Carolina. The Carolina is South Carolina. The Gamecocks are winners today, 88-41. Good luck to the Gamecocks throughout the rest of the tournament. And reporting for Cox Sports Broadcasting, goodbye, everybody.
We came back down early in the second half.
In the last game against UNC in November, Mylasia only played 3 minutes, and that was a big turning point for her. How much has she grown since the last time she played you guys played the Tar Heels in November?
I mean, you can see just the tale of 2 games. And we don't get to where we are today without her having the kind of unsuccessful night that she had against North Carolina. So it's a process. I'm so happy that Malaysia took in the process in a way that helped her and helped us grow as a team.
Speaking of that bench production, you guys had 51 points to their 0, I believe. When I throw a stat at you like that, what goes through your head, and how much more lethal does that make this ball club?
So it wasn't about them not scoring any bench points. It was more about our bench and what they've been able to do all season long. They built up to this point, like where I'm super confident in inserting anybody into the game and know that more times than not, they're going to have a positive impact on the game.
Coach, you only shot 25% from the field for the game. Was that you guys' defense or